Welcome to this episode of Hampton Roads Business Live. I'm Rory Graham, your host, and today we have with us Larry McKenzie from Macro IT. And before we get into your company, this morning I recalled a quote, and I looked it up on the internet, and I thought it was kind of interesting. Back in 1958, Tom Watson said that he thought that there was a world market for about 5 computers. So I know you're an IT guy, and I'm a video guy, so I know that we're both glad that's not true.
Yes.
Yes. So you're an IT specialist, and
Yes.
you make the impossible happen because most people don't understand it. So give us a overview of what Macro IT does.
Okay. Macro IT is a computer networking technology company. Mm-hmm. We, do everything on the technology side for businesses. We, sell servers, sell desktops. We design and install both desktop servers. We do computer wiring for the network. We do support. We're just a complete technology company for the business that does not have in-house IT or needs to supplement their IT because their staff may be overwhelmed or they're doing a rollout for projects. So we have a lot of different clients like that, but we were just a technology company for businesses.
And you work with both small and large companies, right?
Yes. Yeah, we work with small and large companies, pretty much any company that has computers, and
which is everybody nowadays.
Everybody. We've had clients that have 3 computers. We have clients that have 50 to 70 computers.
Right.
It's really just, they all have a need, and we just try to help them.
Now your company can design and network so the computers network together.
Yes.
In a system. So that's pretty involved process, or is it all custom to what the client wants?
It's all custom to what the client wants. It can be involved. We try to not make it very involved for them. We try to make them be more productive. They have a lot of clients will have a server-based network. That's what they call it, a server-based network, and the desktops they work at share the files or the email off the server, and they all are, looking at the same information and using it.
And is viruses a big deal that you get called out a lot on?
Yeah, it is. It's some of the easiest jobs we have.
Oh, really?
Because we hire very good engineers. We have all Microsoft level engineers that make a lot of money. So to fix a virus is some of the easiest jobs they have. A desktop virus, but
that can be one of the meanest things though to get rid of.
But it's one of the most important jobs
we
have, because it really brings down production for the company.
It can spread through the whole network.
And it does.
Yeah, it does.
The quicker,
I had that happen to me one time. I had one of these viruses, I'm sure you're familiar with these, where the virus hits and then you get the offer for the software to get rid of it.
Yeah.
That kind of virus. Scumbags.
It's a perpetual process. You start going to this website, and then you download this, install this, and it makes it worse.
Right.
Yeah, it never stops.
Right. And what happened with me is, as soon as I got it, and I couldn't figure out, because it went right past McAfee, and as soon as I couldn't get rid of it, or I couldn't figure out how to get rid of it, when I went onto my other computers on my home office network or whatever, it had spread to all of them. Within 24 hours, it was on all of them. And so I know that can be a really big deal.
Yeah, I've been doing computers my whole life. I'm now 40, and I've been, since I was in the Navy. My first job was as a computer person.
I was going to ask you about your background.
And it's a very rewarding job. I guess many people wouldn't see it that way, but I feel it's very rewarding, because I go and I help somebody like you that has a problem with a virus, and I can help them pretty quickly, and they are so happy that their systems are working now.
Right.
And it didn't affect the rest of their computers. I had one quick story with a furniture company recently. They had a virus on a computer, and I was able to remote into their computer. We do a lot of remote work, because one of the things we do with remote is quicker for the client.
Right.
We can get there just like that.
Right.
On their computer within a matter of minutes. I was able to fix her computer, and her computer was so much faster all she talked about was for weeks how her computer was so much faster. Forget about the virus.
Yeah.
It had slowed down her computer over time to where she was not being able to do what she needed to do,
Right.
running this company. And then we turned around and they called us back to go to all of their computers over 4 companies and do the same, look at them, do the same thing.
Right.
And
I was
we
gonna ask
found
you
all
about
kinds
remote.
of viruses and problems, and we were able to write a report for them too, saying these are the things you should do in the future. And that's one of the great things I love about this job is you're able to help people.
Right. Well, I know that, a lot of computer problems seem to vanish if there's a joke, a computer, a lot of times you just turn it off and turn it back on, problem disappears, And that's some simple thing.
Yeah.
And all, it's like if a car worked that way, everybody just get out and get back in. It would,
Yeah.
But you're dealing with problems that people have that maybe just slowing down their machine, or they might be just blocking them, or infecting the whole network.
Yeah.
And so there's that issue, and then the other issue would be expansion. So they might be expanding to other adding other stations or other computers or whatever.
And it's like your car analogy is great because it's, if your car is making a squeaking sound, the squeak may go away, but it made the squeaking sound.
Right.
Right. It's an indication something is wrong.
Something's wrong, right?
You should, proactive choices.
Right.
Well, we try to educate our clients to
And-
try to be proactive because it'll save you in the long run. You be, a penny wise or a pound foolish.
Right.
Because if you're not paying attention to the squeak, it could get worse. And
Right, that's true. All right, so you offer desktop support, and is that primarily through the remote system that you?
We just tailor it to the client's needs at the time.
I see.
We try to really focus on our clients' needs rather than the needs of the company.
Mm-hmm.
We put it in their hands. We always give them all the options. Yeah, I can remote to your computer now, or I can come there. What do you want me to do? I give them they ask more questions. I give them the pros and cons of each.
Right.
It's just a straightforward, honest approach. And we have the office you can call. You can call the office like any other company. One thing a little different with our company is we give you the phone number. If I was to hire you, if you were to hire me as a client, I would give you the phone number, the cell phone of the engineer assigned to your client
account.
job or your account. And you can always call the office like you could with another company, but you also have this engineer's cell phone, and that's a big advantage. And yeah, they can come to your office, they can remote support, whatever you want.
Well, that is a big advantage, and is that really what sets you all apart? Would you say is there or
That's one of the major areas that sets us apart. I really love my company, and I grew up in my company. I moved to this area 7 years ago, and I started working for the first job I took was with Macro, and within a few months I was the operations manager. Within another year I had 10% of the company, and it's a family-owned company. They really love people that love, Macro and love doing things the right way. And long story short, I now own 100% of the company, and the owner was older and he wanted to step back. So now he is an engineer
great.
with
A
the
success
company.
story like that. That's good.
And he's an engineer with the company.
Yeah.
So he's still so much involved, which is really great. He's a resource for me.
Right.
And yeah, it's been great.
Well, that's good. That's good. It's good to talk to someone who did that. I did the similar thing. My father and I started the business, and then he retired, and I bought him out, and all. But it's a business of your own can be very rewarding,
It is.
especially when you love what you do, and you obviously do from
Yes.
the way you talk.
Yeah.
So, let me ask you. You told me on the phone when we talked about you all have low overhead, and you want to talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, one of the things that we've always focused on was the client. Since I've taken over, I've kind of tried to take it to a whole new level. I've really looked at all of our costs and just streamlined them all. And the reason why I did that is so we can have be more financially healthy as a company, and that would enable us to just tailor to our clients' needs even more. And one of the things that differentiates us a little bit is that we offer what I think is the best rate in the area. And that's a big advantage considering we have such high-level engineers. And the only reason we could do that is because we do have a lower overhead than our competitors do. And I'm just primarily look at our competitors, and I try to make our business model, a successful one by the fact that we have more lower overhead.
Where is Macro IT located?
We have an office in Newport News and Hampton,
Okay.
but we pretty much
You
are
cover
not in the office.
Right.
We are on the road engineers helping clients.
So you work the south side as well?
Yeah, we do the entire Hampton Roads area.
Rose area.
We are Hampton Roads Technology Advisors. That's our catchphrase. But we've been to Richmond. We have clients in Richmond. We have clients we've done some of the in Nags Head. We've done some wireless setups for the docks and the boats. We've been anywhere from Nags Head to Richmond, including the Hampton Roads area.
Right. And you mentioned that when people call in, they can actually call in and talk to a technician, so they're not writing a help ticket, or something like that, which can sometimes be frustrating because you don't know when you're going to get an answer. And usually if you have a computer problem and you're calling a technician, you need help.
Yeah, you need help.
You're really kind of frustrated and want help now if you can. So, so that's a real asset, I think.
It's been big for us.
Well, that's good.
Clients get frustrated when they have to wait for a callback.
Yeah.
And the person they speak to at the office is not the person that's very familiar with their situation and their problems. The engineers, we assign one engineer to a client in an account, and they over time become just really familiar with their network.
Right.
And a lot of times they call up, be like, well, if you just click on this or click on that, it'll go away.
Right.
And they know that. The client knows that, and they know it's just a quick answer sometimes, and they become frustrated. They have to call, because a lot of our clients are like law firms, dentists, doctors' offices.
You're stepping on my next question.
And I know.
Ask
I
you,
didn't want to go there.
I didn't want to go there. Okay, go ahead. You went there. So, who is your typical client? Give us some examples. There's someone who might be watching and they go, "Well, that's me."
Law firms are some of our bigger clients. They are really into technology, and they really just are working on really large, expensive cases, and they need that system to work good. That's why they're really into, a good IT support staff.
Now let me step on something when you hear from it.
Okay.
Okay, you said it needed to work good, but the reason for calling a guy like you is because when your system is running smoothly, then you're more profitable. Everything is running better. You're making more money, or can do things more efficiently, which translates into more money, and all. So that's a reason to call you.
Yeah.
So
exactly.
you have to judge what is your time worth.
Exactly.
Right.
Some of the reasons why these are some of our better clients, like doctors and dentists, because they're also proactive about their system. They understand that if they have one chair down, like a dentist, that's like, we have one dentist always says, I lose $600 an hour if my chair is down.
Right. And
she understands that, so she's very proactive about her system. If she has a virus, she wants to make sure that virus is contained.
Right.
And because in the long run, it's going to save her money.
Right.
And she's going to be more productive. The employees that she's paying to be there are going to be working the whole time. When a computer goes down, that employee's sitting there twiddling their thumbs. When it comes to just one workstation, let alone a patient, a computer in a patient chair where they're looking at someone's teeth or something. Or a server, heaven forbid.
Right. And you mentioned to me too that your business, when we were talking, you mentioned more than once that your business is relationship driven.
Yes.
And that's kind of funny coming from an IT guy. You think it's all technology stuff and everything, but that's what you said. You want to expand on that just a little bit?
Yeah, I do like to expand on that. I just really, as a person, I have a lot of gratitude in my life. I've been given great opportunities, and I have a very great life, and I try to show a lot of gratitude, and I try to make my business that way. And I also try to personally give back every chance I get. Try to find at least one way every day to give back. That's my motto, whether it's a a tip or whatever, and
Well,
so
you'll
just
see
try
the
to
tip
run.
jar on the way out.
Yeah, there you go.
I'm teasing.
So that ties right in line with making the company relationship driven, because it's more rewarding that way, and you feel like you're doing something right rather than doing something wrong.
Well, that's a great philosophy to have. And the last thing I wanted to talk about that I had was that you mentioned to me that you have a pay-as-you-go system, which is different than a lot of IT companies. A lot of IT companies, you have to buy a block of hours, or you have to buy a contract. And I know you do some contracts because some companies work that way. But can you talk about the pay-as-you-go kind of a thing? And
Yeah, a lot of the medical practices or nonprofits, they are on contracts with IT companies. Some of the nonprofits want it that way because they are on a strict budget, and they need to know they're going to spend $500 every month on IT. We really make sure the client wants to do that, because I think a lot of our competitors are doing that because they need that residual income to keep up with their costs. Whether it's this fancy office and this huge help desk and all these company vehicles and everything, their overhead's so high they have to have this residual income. So a lot of times the client does not use those hours. And we've, through experience, have found out that you're not using those hours, and they ended up not being happy because they're not using those hours when they really look at the numbers. So we have a pay-as-you-go. We try to push for, you just call us when you need us, and we'll be there within 2 hours.
okay.
Or quicker. Heaven forbid you have a real problem, or we can remote into your system. But we have a 2-hour response time where we guarantee we'll be there within 2 hours. And
or instantly remotely.
Or instantly remotely. It could be faster, but if we have to drive all the way to Richmond or something, we'll be there within 2 hours. If we're on the south side, it never takes that long. But the pay-as-you-go system has really been great, because they just call us when they need us. They can usually get a hold of the engineer, and he can be there, and we send the bill the next week. So they only are paying for what is already done and working.
All right.
And that's really what worked well for us.
Well, I can see where the clients would like that.
Yeah.
Pay for what they get. So.
Yeah, pay for what they get.
And pay for it after they get it. So
After they get it.
Good. That's good. Okay, so is there anything that I haven't covered that you'd like to touch on?
I'd like to touch on the fact a little bit more that what we have as a staff. We have 4 engineers. And we have a help desk that consists of somebody that answers the phone 24 hours, 7 days a week. So we are, in my opinion, the right size of company for. We're not too big, we're not too small, and we do have the complete help desk features that some of the other companies have also. We answer the phone 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
And they can get to a technician.
Yeah, or they have the option of calling a technician.
Right. And you work on the entire Hampton Roads area from Richmond to Nags Head
Yes.
area. Okay, so that's
And one other thing I'd like to add is that we do have clients outside of the area, because we do a lot of remote support. We have a client in,
I guess if you're doing it remote, it doesn't matter where they are.
And we have a lot of clients that have multiple offices. We have one that's in California, for instance, and they have a Newport News office, a government contractor. We have I don't know what you call them, like some sort of production company, but they have an office in Virginia Beach. They have one in Pittsburgh. And we support the Pittsburgh office. Those are 2 examples. We support the California office all the time, because really we don't need to be there.
Right.
In most cases, that's how great technology is in today's world.
Amazing.
I could be sitting on the desktop in a matter of minutes, like I'm sitting there. And we're talking on the phone the whole time too, so besides physically looking at me, there's no difference.
Right. Well, actually, with FaceTime, they could probably physically look at you too if they wanted to. So
Could do that also.
Google Hangout or something.
Yeah.
So anyway, okay. Well, it's been a real pleasure having you
great.
here. If you have a business, large or small, have slow-running computers, or you have computers that need want to get your computers talking to each other in a network, or expand your network, or have a virus that you need to have looked at, give Larry a call. His information is at the end of this video, and it's also on this page. The contact information for Macro IT. It's been a real pleasure having you here today,
Oh,
and
it's
I
been
thank you for
great.
coming in.
Thank you.
Very interesting.
Thank you.
Thanks.